This is really where you want to film?
Look at this rock pile. What's going on over here?
This is an active construction site. They're pulling their work truck in. We need to move.
Where are we gonna go? All right, we're in an alley that's also closed.
We've got the construction with the rock pile. We've got a house right there with a hole in the roof, waiting to see what happens with that one. The house right here is about to get, I think it's getting condemned. There's a family of raccoons that lives inside and it's abandoned. Leadville 100 race recap video. If you follow me on social media, this race did not go to plan. I've had a few good cries about it. I got it all out of my system, so we're good now. I'm just gonna kick it off. I did not finish. Again.
Okay, we have to go back.
I have to go back to Leadville. I started out being really pissed and now I'm just fine about it because like I know I can do it. It's gonna happen. We'll get to why I didn't finish and what happened. If you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Even if you don't like videos like this, subscribe because why not? If there is anything in this video that you see that you want, you can buy it at thebicyclestation.com. If you know of something that you don't see in this video that you also want, just email us at sales@thebicyclestation.com and we'll get it for you. For Leadville, I rode my BC40. It was the first race on this bike.
And we made a video building this too.
Yeah, there's a full build video about this bike. If you want to know more about the bike, more about my setup, another video coming out soon covering my 2-ish week adventure out west from Mattahay in North Dakota with Jesse all the way up to the morning of Leadville. So Jesse and I had absolutely no idea how long it would take us to get from Silverthorne to Leadville or what the parking traffic would be like, because the last time we did this race in 2019, we had camped at Half Moon Campground. So we were like pretty much on the race course already. And from that year, we remember the parking being an absolute nightmare. So we're like, okay, let's get out there super early. So we left our Airbnb to drive to Leadville. We were one of the first people to get into Leadville, so which was actually kind of sick. Like we got princess parking in front of my corral.
Like, and we're not talking like a block away. We're talking like we had the parking spot next to the road barrier that was in front of the corral, which it was not on purpose. We didn't know the corral was going to be there, but it ended up working out.
It was so convenient, so easy. I think it made it easier on Jesse having Gentry there. So the 4 a.m. leaving the Airbnb at 4 a.m. definitely going to do that in the future. I, throughout this entire trip, kept myself pretty much on Eastern time. In my head, I was like, okay, yeah, it says 4 a.m., but really, for me, it's 6 a.m.
It wasn't too bad.
It was pretty easy overall. I was hanging out there for a little bit. It was like 42 degrees at the start. Clothing-wise, I did not pack everything that I should have packed. Jesse ended up bringing me a lightweight jacket of his.
Stowaway.
Yeah, Paul Normal stowaway jacket. I wore Jesse's jacket at the start of this race, and then I had my lightweight Mechanism long sleeve zip-up jersey under that, and my paw gloves at the start, and I just wore bib shorts, and then I had a Melanzana hat as well that I wore. So I was a little chilly at the start. The first climb, clothing-wise, I could not feel my fingers at all. I couldn't feel the shifters.
So the jacket was good.
The jacket was good. My fingers were numb. And anytime I wanted to shift, like I noticed as soon as I got to the first climb, I was like having to look down before I shifted. I couldn't feel the button whatsoever. I was just like, what am I doing? Look down and be like, okay, cool, my finger's in the right spot, or I'd have to move my thumb to shift. So that was interesting. Starting the race, it was like a nice kind of like rolling start. As a few corrals would go, they would just slowly move us up, and then pretty much once, I think it was like the orange corral went, I was just like slowly rolling on my bike, like had one foot down and would just kind of strider bike my way up. And then once the blue corral went, like we truly never stopped rolling until we got through the start. It was super weird. There were these two guys in front of me. Everyone was like on their bikes riding them because we're about to start. It's not like you get to the start line and then they're like 1, 2, 3, go. It was just a full rolling start. It was how it felt for me with where I was. There were these guys, they were just there walking their bikes the whole way. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, we are literally going. And then one of them like passes his bike off to his buddy, runs over to the side, give his jacket to someone. And I was like, you're literally holding up the majority of the corral right now to start this event. Everyone else was ready to go. Scoot over to the side. What are you doing? It was weird. It was a nice little downhill. You have pavement for a little bit before you hit the dirt. And with how it was staggered, I was truly just with like the top group of my corral. And then as soon as we hit the Coline climb, it was just exactly how I remembered it in 2019. With a ton of traffic, you just had to go the pace of the people around you. There wasn't a ton of room to get around people. You had to be patient, and then there might be a gap to get through. I tried really hard not to get frustrated and annoyed because I wanted to go my pace, but I was also like, okay, chill. 10,000 feet, take your time, it's a long day. So that's Carter Summit. So that climb gets you up to 10,737 feet. In my opinion, a little bit of a grind. I had to hop off my bike once on that. Someone fell over right in front of me and there was like nowhere for me to go, so I had to hop off my bike and go up on the hill a little bit to get around them and get back on and keep rolling. Right after the Carter Summit aid, it was, I think by Turquoise Lake, a super smooth, beautiful paved road that was super fast. Got it, like my group really spread out again during that section, and then pretty quick after that you get to the Sugarloaf climb, and that one pretty quickly got bunched up. Like you turn off, make a right turn off the pavement onto the dirt road, and you go up that for a hot second, and then it's almost a hairpin turn, I guess, left, and it starts getting rockier. That section slowed down the pace a lot again. Everyone was getting super bunched up. There weren't a lot of great lines. I found myself actually kind of going out of the way, taking what I would consider to be a little bit of a crappier line. After Sugarloaf, get to the top, and then you're on the power line descent. It was a super, super dusty year. I took my sweet time going down power line. I saw a couple of people wipe out. Didn't try to hurry because I did not want to wreck there. Then once you get to the bottom of power line, you're on pavement again until you get to Outward Bound. That was the second aid station. At this point, my jacket was totally unzipped. I was getting pretty warmed up, but I didn't want to stop to take it off because I was like, nah, I'm cruising. Got to Outward Bound and I was pretty toasty. Slowed down a little bit. I knew Jesse wouldn't be there, but I was looking for someone that I might know to just pass off my jacket to. Didn't see anyone. Just rolled through there. Got a handlebar to the ribs. Someone that was just riding on my left that just hit me. That
I think
sucked.
they need to work on the aid stations. It was not chill.
The aid stations honestly were not fun. There's no reason why I feel like I should have gotten handlebar to the ribs. I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. I was just rolling through. Didn't feel like I was in anyone's way. This guy just comes out of nowhere on the left and just like bumps me, and I was like, what is happening here?
There's a lot of wrecks in the aid zones. The guy who got second place literally got crashed out by somebody running across the course.
Yeah, it was like a media person just like took him out.
I don't understand what was going on.
Go basically through a field, then you start going kind of by the Half Moon campground area. At that point, I did actually just pull off on the side of the trail and took off the jacket, stuffed it in my pocket real quick. Had a few more layers I probably should have just taken off. But after that point, this man found me. I wouldn't say I found him. Maybe we found each other. I don't know. There was a super nice guy who was just like, hey, I wrecked a few times already. I'm an hour behind where I want to be. Like, hop on my wheel. I'll pull you. I'll get you to Twin Lakes and I won't drop you. He was like, just yell at me if you need me to go faster, slower. Like, I got you. And I was like, sick. This is cool. From not that far after Outward Bound, like basically as soon as I put my jacket in my pocket to Twin Lake, this really awesome guy was just pulling me. And we were just cruising, and there were a couple smaller climbs there. If he got a little bit of a gap on me there, then he would just slow up. He was looking back, waiting on me. It was the sweetest thing ever. Thank you, sir. I appreciated you. That was super cool. I was feeling great. Felt pace-wise, I was crushing it. Attempting to do rough math in my head, and I was cool. I'm gonna be, I think, right around 10 hours. Was stoked. Got to Twin Lakes. My friend left me. And then Twin Lakes, that was a very stressful aid station. Going through Twin Lakes, the Paw Normal crew was there, and Ruben, shout out to Ruben, he's sick. He was like, oh yeah, here's exactly where we'll be. He showed me a photo of their setup, and I was like, cool, if I see them, I'm gonna give them this jacket and probably my hat. Like, I was desperate to get layers off at this point. I don't regret having the layers at the beginning. It warmed up a little bit quicker than what I think I anticipated, and I should have just stopped sooner to take off the layers. That was my mistake. I was pretty freaking toasty going through Twin Lakes. I slowed up so much, and I was looking for someone that I knew again. Did not see anyone. It was pure chaos. I do not know how you would find your people. I was thinking through my head, if my support in general is ever in Twin Lakes, I would need them to have a very freaking obnoxious hot pink flag with rainbow sparkles. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you would find your people. It was a little stressful, so I was super excited to not have Jesse at the Twin Lakes Aid. It was too hard to find people, in my opinion. There were people, riders everywhere. After Twin Lakes, you have a little bit of a trail section with a smallish climb with a little rocky to get over to Lost Canyon Road. That is where Jesse was at. So if you are, I think, the Red Corral and above that, you can be at the Twin Lakes Aid. Anyone else, you have to go to Lost Canyon. Actually, I decided officially this year, I like Lost Canyon better. It was so much more chill.
So we're at the 48-mile Lost Canyon Aid, and I think Chase is like 30 minutes out, so we're gonna head over and see if we can get the bottles. Are we gonna help Gentry?
As I was like going through the field to get to that road, I went pretty slow as soon as I made the turn onto the road, and I was just like looking back and forth across the road. Do I see Jessie? Do I see Gentry? Because she was there, and our friend Scott was also there. So I was like looking for any of the three of those people. Pretty quick, I heard Jesse yell my name, so I was able to turn over to him. And it was like a NASCAR pit crew is the feeling I got. It happened a lot slower than that, but in the moment I was like, man, this is sick. Jesse was taking off my gloves for me. He had another jersey, a short sleeve jersey there ready to go. I got that changed, took the hat off. My ponytail was falling out, so Jesse was doing my hair too. It was like princess treatment. It was sick. And at that point, like, I made a comment to Jesse and Scott. I was like, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really strong. I think I'm doing pretty well, honestly. And they were like, yeah, mathematically, you're right at around 10 hours. Like, if you push a little bit, like, you probably break 10 hours. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Hell of a lot better than what I anticipated. So I got out of the aid. You hit Columbine immediately. So Lost Canyon is literally the base of the Columbine climb. I made it a game for myself to, as I was passing people, because I felt like I was cruising pretty well, had a really good cadence up most of Columbine, just like counting people as I passed them, because it took my mind off of the riding just a smidge. Anytime someone would pass me back, I'd take my number down one. So the top of Columbine is a section that you pretty much have to, you 100% have to walk. Right before I got to the first section, where I had to get off my bike, I definitely noticed it was getting a lot harder to breathe. Really trying to pay close attention the whole time, because I know I do not do well at altitude, about keeping my breathing under control. And there was one moment that I think I pushed it a little too hard. I got a little too excited, and I could not get my breathing under control. And I felt like I couldn't get a full breath. My breathing was getting kind of like, almost like gulpy almost. Started to tear up a little bit. I was like, oh my God, it's happening again. Like, I was having flashbacks to 2019, basically getting pulled there again. And I was like, okay, you got it. Take a deep breath, like just chill a little bit. I was able to get that under control, but was paying extra close attention, especially as we got higher up. It gets you up to like 12,499 feet. So first section, you have to get off your bike and walk. I was definitely slow there. But then got back on my bike, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm feeling better now that I'm back on my bike. But then from there, I need to look up the exact distance that I had to walk. It was terrible. I was slowing down more and more. And the closer I got to the top, I was just getting worse and worse and worse on just my breathing, my mentality. And I felt like my ability to take another step, it was just getting harder and harder and harder. So I get back on my bike, it was harder for me to balance, get going. And so that was kind of like back and forth, like get on my bike when I could, or just keep trudging along. So then finally get to damn near the top, the aid station, get on my bike again, and I noticed I was so wobbly. And all I could think about was, I need water. I need plain water. I had one bottle of Scratch, one bottle of Element. I really regretted not just grabbing a bottle of plain water at the aid. All I could think about was, I need water, I need water, I need water. Went around the little loop there, stopped at the aid, and as soon as I got off my bike, my legs felt like they couldn't hold me up. Just immediately sat down. I had one of the volunteers was like, get your bike out of the road, get your bike out of the road. My butt was on the ground. I was like trying to drag my bike and literally could not move it. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was honestly getting pretty freaking scared. I can't get a breath. And really quick, one of the medics came over. It was like the main medic up there. He sat next to me. He's like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I was like, I can't breathe. So they got my bike moved. He helped get me into a chair, and they started taking my vitals. He was asking me some questions. At this point, I was just starting to cry because I was like, how is this happening again? Really freaking sucked. They kept me there for 45 minutes, monitoring my vitals every 15 minutes. And basically, from my understanding, My O2 levels were, I think, low, and they seemed to be kind of getting lower as I was doing it. Anytime I would stand up, like I would just be seeing spots. I couldn't take a step without getting dizzy, and the top of the mountain was pretty windy, and I was like, okay, I can't even take a step without wobbling and almost falling over. How am I going to get on my bike, ride down this bumpy section? Needless to say, the medic came up to me after however long I was up there and was like, I'm so sorry I have to do this. I'm going to have to DNF you. And he radioed it in, and he was like, is there like anyone to get you or anything like that? Like, we can get you down the mountain. And I was like, my husband's at Lost Canyon. I'll try to send him a message. I had like 1 bar of cell service. I ended up being stuck on top of Columbine for a very long time. There was a pretty gnarly wreck.
It was almost 4 hours, which is crazy because like the thing that needed to happen was you needed to be off the mountain like as quick as possible.
They put me in someone's truck. I was wrapped up in the emergency blanket with 3 Patagonia jackets on top of me. I couldn't stop shaking. They gave me some snacks, gave me some water. At some point I fell asleep and I took a nap up there. In the morning when I got out of the truck, I noticed, I was like, man, it smells like a campfire out here. Like the air smells like a campfire. And I made a comment to Jesse about that, but then didn't really think about it again. I was like, oh yeah, wildfires, but didn't truly think about the air quality. And then when I got back down the mountain, Jesse, Scott, and Gentry ended up, once the riders were through, driving up there to get me down because I was just stuck up on top of Columbine. So they came to pick me up, and they were like, you know, we didn't want to say anything because we didn't want to like stress you out, but the air quality is really, really bad. So when Jesse ended up looking up the air quality, and when I started the race in Leadville, it was around 155, and it literally had an alert that was like, don't go outside. At the base of Columbine, it was still right around 100, which is also still that's not clean air, guys. So I definitely think that negatively affected me. I am a week and a half out from Leadville right now, and I still have a slight cough that I acquired during the race, cannot get rid of, and I'm still getting out of breath so freaking easily. Definitely not feeling 100%, not feeling like myself. It was a pretty fucking gut-wrenching end to the race. It sucked. I was incredibly disappointed in myself because I felt like a failure again. At the same time, I'm also excited to get to go back and do Leadville again, because up until it all went to it was going so much better than what I anticipated or thought it would. I know I can do it, so I just have to go back and do it again. So yeah, that's Leadville for me. I have to go back and do it, so you guys have to watch another Leadville recap at some point. Maybe next year. I'm gonna go do the Coldwater Trail qualifier in Anniston, Alabama in October. So if you're there, let me know, and we'll see if I qualify there or not. If I do the lottery, we'll see. Current plan is to go back to Leadville for 2026. It was going great up until it wasn't. Was feeling great up until I wasn't. I had to take over the filming because Jesse's over here dying, probably because he's wearing denim in like 95-degree humid corn sweat Indiana. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions about Leadville. It was super cool to see everyone there, meet everyone, talk to everyone. The expo was awesome. Loved that. You can see more about mine and Jesse and Gentry's time at the expo and the other 2-week adventure vlog that's coming up. We'll see you guys on the next one.